Hi, I'm Vivian the Knitter.
And I'm Alyson the Crocheter, and this is the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 109 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crochet podcast brought to me.
To you!
Brought to you by me, Vivian, and my daughter Alyson. And
we're both coming at you from Scotland!
I'm all messed up.
So, we are indeed in Scotland, in Edinburgh.
Together.
This is not the usual view of my flat, but we are in my flat. So, you might have thought we were somewhere else, because we sometimes are. Boston, Florida, blah, blah, blah. But no, we're in Scotland. And we're together. This is a together episode. So... yeah, the usual intro is kind of out the door, but
yeah, because
thanks for joining us, everyone. It's been a little while, but we're into September now.
We are. So it's been very exciting that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a knitting and crochet podcast, so we'll jump right into our whips. Yes? No?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll go first because it's boring.
Okay.
I am still working on my assigned color pooling. Shawl. And I've not...
You pulled out your stitches.
Yeah, I've lost...
Almost as if you're a knitter.
I've lost my loops. 2 seconds. Okay. So I'm working on the second half of my triangular shawl. So this is my assigned color pooling, so you can see the sort of tan with the red pops and then the more navy color stripe through. So this is my finished half of the stripes. So this looks as if I could have carried this on and had horizontal stripes on a symmetrical triangular shawl, but because I wanted to make my life difficult, yay! That's not how I wanted to do it. So I wanted to make this half of a shawl. So this would be half turned on its side, so that the stripes are now going diagonal. And yeah, so that's half. So it's it'll be a deep shawl, maybe.
Yeah.
Because this side near my head is the depth of it. So where my head is now, I need to make the other half of it. So I want to make the stripes go vertically.
Mm-hmm.
But the stitch that I'm using, this Tunisian crochet stitch, has these sort of, so this would be the right side up, these kind of a faux rib, like upside down V's every other stitch, that create stacks of V's.
Like a little bit of movement.
A little bit of movement that go perpendicular to the stripes. So my stripes on the other half will be vertical, but the V's will be
perpendicular to those stripes. Yes?
Well, no, I meant my stripes on the other half will be like this. So they'll be, it's this one.
Well, but they will be perpendicular to...
No, not perpendicular, because the stripes on this half will be diagonal. And the stripes on the other half will be vertical.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm making 2 separate halves and then they'll be put together. So this actually is the top, like this. So the long side, this long straight side will be the top. I'm increasing for the sides, and then the sort of the long rows that I'm working.
So this is the side that you're sewing onto?
Yeah.
Okay.
My active, so the last row will be the side that I sew onto the side of the other half.
Completed side.
And even though I'm increasing, I don't know, maybe geometry, increasing the same amount, it's a different angle.
Yeah.
It'll be a different angle. So I think this is a shallower angle, so hopefully you don't run out of yarn. It'll be a shallower angle. So it'll end up being...
almost exactly a month.
I don't know if I'm going to finish it. It'll be asymmetrical, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
So actually, if I do run out of yarn, I could maybe rip out some of this to use.
Okay,
and then
if you say so.
Put it onto there. If I don't finish this, so this is supposed to be my Rhinebeck shawl. If I don't finish it, I'll just have like a mini shawl and just do this the first half.
Oh my gosh, just don't wear this shirt. Oh my god, there'll be a lot of stripes
going I kind of like that. Stripes on stripes, and then
Yeah, though I'm getting dizzy.
So that's all I have for whips.
Okay, well, I only have one whip as well, and it is a new whip, and this one is called the Bonnie Isle hat, and it is by Linda Shearer, and this is this year's Shetland Wool Week hat, and I think I've made it almost every year since I started this, and whenever it was I started this. So yeah, I'm not using any of the colorway that the designer has designed, because she's got at least 5 maybe color options.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, 5.
5, yeah.
5, yeah. And I suppose this one is the closest one is to colorway 5, which looks like lots of pinks
And purples?
and mine has
the pops of blues.
Yeah, pinks and purples, and
Yours is more pastel, I think, than hers.
maybe, I'm not sure, but this is just leftover sock bits, which is, I think, a lot of my hats are made out of, or my color work hats are made out of leftover sock bits.
Mm-hmm. You do make a lot of socks.
I do, and apparently I make a lot of hats too. So, and so I'm not crazy about how the design has, I think it was 6 rows of, maybe a little bit more, of corrugated ribbing down in the very beginning, and then some stranded color work, and then more corrugated ribbing. So it tends to fold in where the stranded is, and it does this rolly thing.
Once it's blocked, do you think
I'm
we'll
hoping
stop doing
that once it's blocked, it'll be better. But then I think it might always have that tendency to do that, you know, even after it's blocked. But it looks pretty.
Yeah. So just to describe the finished pattern, it's got little, you can see your waves, like little waves, and then anchors.
And
more waves,
and something that looks like an eye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it represents anything other than the fact that it's kind of, it looks kind of like a wave, the way it goes up and
or
down.
like a DNA strand. The eyes look like it could be like a DNA strand.
If you hold it this way. Right?
Yeah, like a DNA strand.
Yeah.
I like colorway 4.
It's that green and blue, but muted,
like a dark green,
and,
like forest, or is it a forest green and mustard? It's because it has mustard in it.
Yeah, you and mustard. Okay, so that's the only whip I have that I can really talk about.
Mm-hmm. We've been busy, which is why.
Busy.
I mean, I'm always busy, which is why I never have that much for whips. I feel like.
Yeah.
But will we do our Buzzfeed quiz?
Sure. So I picked it this time, and this one is called "Make a Cocktail and We'll Reveal Your Best Personality Trait."
What's your best personality trait?
Which is so not me. You are brutally honest.
Oh.
You tell it like it is, and your friends love that about you. You don't do it to be malicious, but you do it with kindness and grace, and always take the high route. I don't know about being brutally honest, but I think for the most part I'm honest. Yeah, I don't like the brutally honest bit, because
well, they kind of soften it with the you do it with kindness and grace. So maybe brutally honest isn't the right word. Like, I feel like brutally honest doesn't quite match the description even.
Yeah, I agree.
I got "You're the life of the party." You make a splash when you walk into the room with your infectious personality and smooth moves on the dance floor. When your friends, family, or even strangers are looking to partay, you're the first and only call. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not.
I'm not sure anybody in our family would fit that description.
We're all boring.
We're all extroverted introverts.
Yeah. So...
Oh,
questions.
Yes. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I need my glasses for this now.
Yeah, I've discovered, or it's really hit me on this visit. I feel like how much you can't see. Like, try and show you things on my phone. You're like,
it's like your phone's smaller than mine.
Yeah.
And I don't even have the giant phone. It's because you have the mini phone.
Mm-hmm. So when you were building your cocktail, did you actually build the cocktail that you would imagine it would be nice altogether, or did you just go for things that you liked in each question?
I think nice together.
Okay. Well, what glass did you choose?
I did
the sort of short
glass.
I went for the fancy, like, champagne-looking glass.
Like a mimosa glass.
This one. Not a mimosa glass. Mimosa glass is tall, like a tall, thin champagne glass, I thought.
I don't know.
And then the fruit to muddle into your cocktail.
I picked pineapple.
I went for strawberry. I mean, I feel like choose a vodka base for your drink. You could only pick Smirnoff peach lemonade or Smirnoff vodka.
I went for the plain vodka.
Me too. I mean, I wouldn't normally pick a vodka based cocktail anyway.
But. Though peach and pineapple might go. I'm not sure.
And then your mixer?
Lemon lime soda.
Oh, for soda water. Okay, I just can't imagine Diet Coke being good with anything that was on this list. Because it was all fruity stuff.
Yeah.
Squeeze of citrus to add in.
I put in a lime.
I went for grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cube.
Raspberry infused ice.
I just went for regular ice. But the picture has it as like ice orbs.
Yeah.
Balls.
I didn't even read I was just looking at the pictures, like, and it looked like there was something green inside of the ice cubes.
So you were like, no.
I want something green inside of my ice cubes.
Okay, your aromatic.
I picked mint.
I also went for mint. And then a garnish.
Edible flowers.
Me too, edible flowers.
Okay, that's the only thing I had that was the same?
Mint and edible flowers,
okay.
I think. And the regular Smirnoff.
Oh, okay.
But,
well, that's just 50-50.
Yeah. So I think, in the end, mine was strawberry, grapefruit, mint, which I think is fine because my
strawberry,
my mixer was just plain soda, soda water.
I had pineapple, lemon lime, and raspberry. But
I feel like the raspberry wouldn't really,
because it's in ice cubes.
Yeah, it wouldn't really infuse flavor unless it was like a raspberry water, like juice, as an ice cube.
But I don't think it looks like
the picture is just a raspberry in ice.
Oh, and then mint, of course.
Yeah, and the flowers don't the flowers are just for prettiness.
Yep, that's it. Okay, you make that for me tonight.
Which one?
This one. I just
that would be funny though.
That would be funny if we made those cocktails. What was yours again? It was strawberry,
grapefruit, and mint.
Okay.
So,
interesting combination. All right, FOs. Do you have any FOs?
I don't have any FOs. No.
I have an FO. I have 2 FOs. The smaller one is my purse sock number 10.
Only number 10?
Well, I went from. I arbitrarily picked one and said, okay, this must be around 8, the 8th one, so I started with 8. But I finished 11 before I finished 10. Right, because I had to set these aside. And I finished this on this trip. I finished it on the road between Perth
and here?
And here, yeah. So, and I guess I do have another pair of purse socks, but I generally don't really talk about my purse socks other than
when they're done,
because they're pretty much boring. They're just usually.
Do you always make the same sock?
Like, I have been the last few times.
What is your preferred method of sock making?
2 circulars, and I do 68 stitches around on size 0 needles, which is, I don't know, it's like the smallest ones I have. And I just make them longer or shorter depending on who I give them for.
So what's your heel techniques and things?
I do a heel flap and gusset.
Because that feels like really thick.
The heel part, the heel part I do. You slip every other, and then every other stitches.
So it is thicker.
It is thicker. So because that's where you wear your shoe hits, and that's where it gets worn.
So is it just that back part, the back of the heel that's
and
thick,
then
or is it the bottom?
The bottom of the heel.
Right.
Just a little bit.
Bottom. So that's not blocked.
That's just it's not blocked. In fact,
and you did your ribs the same.
I did this time.
They're both 2x2s.
2x2s. Because I've done that wrong on more than one occasion on this podcast. Okay, so that's that. And my my big FO is my Sailaway cardigan. It's all blocked. I blocked it before I got here, and I just have to sew the buttons on. I actually knit the button band 3 times each.
Why?
So I started out with following the instructions. I did, I picked up 4 stitches for every 5 rows, and then you have a 2x2 rib. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'm just gonna be a little fancy, and I'm just gonna pick up stitches, and then do stockinette and do the Amy Zilberg method of making buttonholes. So it's a little bit more involved. So you use scrap yarn for where you want the buttonholes, and you take the scrap yarn off, and it's like a hemmed buttonhole. But the thing is, I forgot, so I used the same amount of stitches for a stockinette button band, and it was too many stitches on the body of the sweater. So like, well, that was stupid. And so then I ripped them both out, and then because on the one side without the buttonholes, it didn't look so bad. Mm-hmm. But then on the side with the buttonholes, it was very like wavy, like almost like not quite ruffled, but almost ruffled because rippled. That's a good word, because of the buttonholes. So I was like, and I probably should have done the buttonhole side first. But anyway, so I ended up ripping it out a second time, both sides, and redid according to pattern, but not quite. I didn't put as many stitches along the edge as the pattern called for. So yeah, but I'm happy with the sweater, and the yarn is very soft.
It's so soft. Like, it feels like, because you said it's just merino, and I said it feels like there's something else in it, but
no, it's just 100% merino. There's no nylon or anything.
It's really plump
and it's super
soft.
washed. I think because it's not
a high twist.
No, it's not. It's not a very tight gauge.
Oh, not like the actual.
Yeah, my gauge. It was a fun knit. I do like how the yoke, the color work in the yoke is achieved by slip stitching rather than stranded. But when you're looking at it from the distance, it'll just look like stranded color work. Mm-hmm. So yeah. What do you think?
Looks nice.
I've even worn it.
Trying to
get it closer to the camera. When did I wear it? I wore it at one point when it was cold. Oh, I wore it when we walked to the pub under my raincoat.
It's so good.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I do have, I have another sweater for myself, cardigan in the queue, waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I want to make a cardigan. But anyway, okay. So now what?
We have yarny bits and bobs.
Yarny bits and bobs.
Lots of bits and bobs.
Yes. So the reason my mom is here was to help me out at Perth Festival of Yarn last weekend. So I was there with Moorit, and my mom was there too. And she's a good saleswoman. She's a good helper to have. It also means I get to putter about the show for a bit as well without having to worry about somebody minding the stand.
So what did you do when you didn't have a helper? You just have to stand there the whole entire time?
Yeah, like when it's quiet, I might be able to ask my neighbor to just keep an eye out while I have a very quick wander. But people are always really good about helping each other out and stuff. But the show was really good. It felt a bit like, being at a show pre-COVID. Yeah, it was really good vibes, lots of nice vendors, and we both made some purchases.
I didn't have a list. Mostly because we're going to be at Rhinebeck next month. Yeah. And also, I don't really need to buy any more yarn. I mean, I really don't need more yarn. But anyway, I did make a few purchases. So on the first day, the first thing I bought was another pouch from
Woolly Originals.
So and these are thistles. If you don't know about Woolly Originals, what is her name? The woman that does this.
I think it's Sarah.
She uses antique knitting machines, and she
machine
knits
her own designs.
Yep, and they're all like stranded color work. So these are thistles, and she's got a nice zipper and a really cute inside fabric. The last one I got 3-4 years ago, it was just a linen inside.
Yours has stags in them.
Yeah, this one has stags. Oh wait, there's a bookmark in here. So here's some of her other designs, and Alyson has shown them on the show. You bought yours with the gin bottles last time.
So this design is called Scottish Wildflowers, pattern based on the spear thistle and ribwort plantain. And then it says the colors are laurel and dog rose. Oh, I wonder if it... No, they wouldn't be plant dyed. She uses normally indie dyed yarn.
No, not all, because...
Not all, but... Oh, no, I guess
the one
not.
that I had was like Jamison and Smith.
Okay, maybe not. Then.
Yeah.
She sometimes uses indie dyed yarn. Because, this feels very Shetlandy, woolly.
Maybe I should sew a little thing on it so I can have a loop.
Yeah?
Yeah. I didn't want to buy the one that had the loop on it because it was a lot more expensive.
Well, bigger, presumably.
It was bigger, too, and I didn't need one that's that big. So that was my first purchase. My second purchase was, I'm actually wearing them. They're these cute, adorable felted earrings. And they were made by Lindsay Waters. So her shop is called Lindsay Waters Jewelry. They were pretty inexpensive.
Yeah,
and that was
statement jewelry, like big statement necklaces. She did as well,
like these big like discs, and some of them were balls, right? Yeah, I can't pull that off. I don't really wear anything around my neck. But it was her first yarn festival.
Nice.
I think she was really pleased with the traffic that she got.
But yeah, so this is like little stacks of colored felted discs.
Yep.
Yellow, red, blue, green, pink. I don't know why that was so difficult.
But basically it'll go with just about anything I wear. Almost everything I wear. And my third purchase on the first day was this knitting journal by Popcorn and Crocodiles. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
It says so right here on the back of the book. And I just really loved her like whole aesthetics and branding, and it is a knitting journal, kind of like how you would do a bullet journal where they have blank pages, and she also has these dividers and little yarn tags that you can attach your yarn that you're using, and there's little punch holes, and you can
and then like write notes about them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and use this. I mean, God knows if I'm actually gonna use it. But it was just so cute, and her little helper was the best. Gwen, her daughter Gwen, was helping out, and she was doing the whole spiel, and I said I wanted to buy something, and I said I was going to use a card, and then she said, I can't do that. So we had to call her mom over.
So it's more like it's like a mini binder that you can put pages in, and I know she sells packets of the page as well. So once you've bought the binder, you can buy like refill pages.
And she sells them where they're not binders too. They're all just
a notebook. Yeah. But it's cute because like all the pages come in like different colors, so you get like,
and they're cardstock paper. They're not really thin paper.
Yeah, they're thick. So you get a selection of like dotted, blank, lined, grid, plus tabs, and there was like the page of knitting. Needle size.
Oh yeah, the gauge, needle gauge. Yeah. She has a color wheel in the back, and
there it is.
It's a needle gauge, knitting needles and crochet hooks, and she's got the measurements for centimeters here on this side, the metric system, and inches on the other side, and also, which I thought was really clever, she has these little tags that you can cut out And then you can attach it to your gauge swatches so you don't forget. I thought that was very clever. Let's see if I actually used it.
Yeah, whenever I try to be organized like that with my projects, I can't even manage to make a note of what hook size I've used.
I mean, I've been pretty good about. I have this notebook that I scribble things on, and I try to remember to also put it in the Ravelry, like when I create a project.
I try to,
but mostly I feel like because we have this wonderful podcast that it kind of forces me to take notes and put things into Ravelry. And like if we didn't have the podcast, I'd be like, why bother? But so that was my third purchase of the first day. Did you buy anything the first day?
No.
Okay. Second day number 2, which is Sunday, I bought 4 skeins of yarn from Nervous Fibers, and that is, here's one, this sort of chartreuse. And then I bought 3 skeins of this one. It's a gray base with a little bit of like yellow and really orangey color.
Sort of goldenrod speckles.
Yeah. So I want to make there's a tee that I want to make that has a little bit of color work and also cables up top with a circular yoke. I think it's a Caitlin Hunter design. I can't remember the name of it, but since it's a tee and this has linen. It's a linen and merino, and I don't usually like to buy singles, but I feel like the linen would help it from like pulling apart too fast, because sometimes with singles, especially when I'm casting on, I feel like I'm always breaking the yarn when I cast on. So hopefully,
I was just looking at the colorway names. The green is called Creep and the gray is called Tiptoe.
So that was my first purchase of Sunday. My second purchase, I don't know why I bought it, but I bought a drop spindle. It goes this way. From Beardy Keel, John from Caithness Crofts. Caithness, one of the Caithness guys.
You didn't put in your notes?
John, I just wrote. I guess no, I didn't because I couldn't remember.
This is her journal, her notes on.
John from Caithness, and he showed me how to do this, and I've already forgotten. So I did record him. Maybe we could do a little snippet. Include a snippet. I don't know. I just thought these drops. I've never seen drop spindles like this where it doesn't have the disc in the end, and he says it's specific to the Western Isles, something like that. And he has some guy lathe for him.
So yeah, so it's like it's kind of shaped like a
crochet hook.
Almost. Well, no, I was gonna say like the whole shape of it is like a bottle shape.
Yes.
But then the top has like a little mushroom head at the top. I mean, you could say it looks like something else, but just broke the wool.
Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I mean, I could just be a decoration in my room, or I could start spindling. I have to figure out how to do it. Okay. That was my second purchase, and my last purchase was I had to get something from Mothy and Squid. She was at the show, and I love her vibrant, saturated, rich colors. But what did I end up with? I ended up with like a pastel-y purple and green.
It's like very aquatic.
Yeah. Like I didn't go for the bold colors that I admire that
but she has a good way of like blending all the colors, like goes from like purple to
there's
blue.
Green, and there's some lavender and some blues. It's like a very water like. So those are I didn't go too crazy.
Well, I only purchased from 2 stands from 2 people I know. Because, yeah, I didn't go crazy at all. I bought a couple skeins from Melinda and Gergate over at Zakami. So they're based in Edinburgh. The color's a bit hard to tell, but it's very, like a deep green, kind of almost jewel tone green. Now the sunlight's coming into the room funny. But I bought 2 skeins of that, and it's just a superwash merino.
Do you have a project in mind for this?
I do. I think I might try and knit something with this. Oh my god! I might try and knit a tank top. But I've been meaning to buy yarn from Zakami for ages, and I just haven't. I really like their colors are not as bright as Mossy and Squid. They're definitely more earthy. Yeah. And then I just bought a little mini from Edelweiss Fibers, also based here in Edinburgh, and that's just another sort of chartreusey color. But it's kind of like, it reminds me of your cardigan, because it's very plump. It's like, it's merino, but it's a very like plump, soft merino. That will probably just go into my scrappy blanket.
Oh, your scrap blanket is
finger weight. Mostly.
This looks like a sport weight.
Maybe, but I mean, my scrap blanket is mostly finger weight, but there's a little bit of sport and such. So yeah.
So I love seeing. I mean, it's been a while. I mean, last time I was at a yarn festival was. Oh yeah, I guess I did go to the one in the spring in Ann Arbor, but I didn't see that much because everybody was
nothing.
Everybody was bundled up, and I didn't see that many sweaters. I did
bundled up in like coats.
Yeah, because it wasn't that warm, and I mean, I did see quite a bit of love notes and some hats, but there wasn't. But this time, because it was inside. Well, the other one was inside too, but it was in barn, so it was cold. But since it's warm outside, I was able to see a lot of like people wearing sweaters and some like the kookiest color combination you've ever like imagined on some of the customers, but then also like all the samples. I have like all this additional sweaters that I want to knit in my mental queue. It's ridiculous, but that's like the fun of going to yarn festivals.
Yeah, and now you're gonna go to another one very soon, and your mental queue will grow.
It'll probably explode from all the pictures and all the like what my friends have said about Rhinebeck. I'm probably just gonna explode.
Are you gonna come with a list to Rhinebeck?
Maybe for one sweater. There's one sweater that I'm thinking of knitting. That's a pullover. Yeah. And then another cardigan that's like I think it's a Hohi Locatelli sweater that I've had. Actually, there's 2 in my like mental queue for a long time, but I don't have yarn for it, so maybe I'll do that. So yeah, I'm doing a lot of selfish knitting. I'm not knitting for anybody this holiday season. What?
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's September and I haven't started making anything for anybody else. So just stuff for me. Me.
Cool. Well, is that everything?
Yeah, that's all the fibery goodness that we have for this episode. But this, I suppose we only have one episode this month because it is the end of summer. It's not officially fall yet, or autumn, as they say here. And you've been so busy with your magazine, and she's doing a great job. If you haven't made your order yet, I mean, issue number 3 will be out
on the 27th.
Probably around the time we get this out.
Yeah, 27th of September. Yes. Cool. Well, we'll say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
And do a spiel.
Go ahead.
Okay. You can find the show notes for this episode and every episode on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. You can follow us on Instagram, also at kcacypodcast. My personal Instagram is Alyson here, and my mom's is upstate_Viv. You can join the Ravelry group if you'd like to. Just search for Keep Calm and Carry Yarn on the groups tab, and make sure to like and follow, subscribe, and comment and review and heart and all the things on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. So thank you for listening,
and remember to keep calm and carry yarn.
Bye!